And now for the next episode. Let's get it. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
So much content.
I love BTS so much.
It's like Christmas every day. If you're Army, it feels like Christmas every day because literally we are getting something every day. And I like unwrapping BTS presents.
Me
Definitely.
too. The only everyday presents that have been stressing me out lately is all the merch. Like, Big Hit, could you please give me some freaking notification? Like, I can't handle it. I can't handle all of the, like, not even the money aspect of it, but just every single day, like, here's some in the soup merch. Here's some old, school love affair merch. And here's some, we helped you make it to the top merch. And here's this and here's that. And here's some more Tiny Tan stuff.
We definitely can't breathe. Our wallets can't breathe. And it really takes a lot of willpower not to want to buy everything they are putting out.
Everything.
Yeah. I didn't have anxiety before, but now I'm getting anxiety because of fear of missing out. Because I have a thing for, especially if I see a picture with black-haired Jin, I feel like I need to have that. I need to have that picture. And I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it. Because when I see the samples and I'm thinking, okay, whenever they drop that, I need to be available. But when are they dropping it?
So other than that, I'm thrilled with all the content. Jimmy Fallon Week has been, a bright spot in this otherwise gloomy week of work craziness.
Absolutely. I really liked how the week started with that Billboard All Kill. To me, that was a surprise. I was honestly not expecting, when I saw that, not only that we had topped the Billboard Hot 100, but the global chart and the 200, and I was like, wait, what?
And both of the global charts, right? The one that doesn't include the U.S. and then the one that does. And
they're the first artist ever to have topped all three of those charts simultaneously. So once again, BTS setting records.
I love it.
We're so spoiled. You know what, though? If any year we deserve it, this year.
Absolutely.
What's been y'all's favorite Jimmy?
That's what I was going to say too. Does anybody have a favorite Jimmy Fallon performance yet?
For me, it was Home. It was amazing, just with the editing and the set and just the performance. It was just so cute.
Video.
It was. I love the chaotic Bangtan. That was cute.
I feel like lately they're chaotic Bangtan all the time.
Yeah, they're very true to themselves, right? Like, we're used to seeing them chaotic and like behind the scenes stuff. So like seeing them just be themselves out and about in a video is amazing.
Definitely. And I love the relationship they have with Jimmy Fallon because he even knows that about them, or especially if they're playing games and stuff. And then he's saying, "Oh, you're cheating, Jimmy." Or Jimin, or he starts laughing at Jin because he starts doing something weird and whack. But it's just that relationship that he knows that BTS is chaotic that way, but that's the reason why we love them. And I'm happy that Jimmy understands that about them. That not only are they amazing people, but they can also be fun.
I also appreciated last night's interview, when he was sitting and talking to them, obviously he's very knowledgeable. He knows them. He has a relationship, but the questions that he asks are so thoughtful. I wish everybody else would kind of take note. These are the types of questions that you ask the boys. It just seems so much more organic.
Absolutely. Like in comparing him to, I think Liam did a good interview as well, but that's also because he is a fan. And he understands them and he's interviewed them multiple times. But there's a lot of other people that have interviewed them multiple times that ask the same questions over and over. And I know everybody was like talking about how great the Grammy interview was, but I didn't think so at all.
I agree with you.
Questions were very just redundant. And it was like he was trying to be insightful, but he didn't know how to be insightful.
Well, he didn't know their names. Let's start there. I'm sorry, it's not Suga.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciated Jimmy's interview and just everything that he's done. I mean, having a BTS week is just a huge thing. And I love the thing with the roots at the beginning with the Dynamite performance. That was really nice. So fun.
I enjoyed the heck out of that. I saw a funny thing on Twitter. Just speaking of BTS week on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, but they had posted a little picture side by side of James Corden, thinking, oh, week? What about a BTS month? And I'm thinking, oh, I hope James Corden sees this, because we could totally go for a month.
Yes.
Right?
And that is something he would do, just to be in competition. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that.
Exactly. For whatever competition it is, if it relates to BTS, we will take it. I would have to say, I really love the outfits in Idol, but then I love the chaoticness in Home, and then Black Swan. That will just always be one of my favorite performances. All the backgrounds and all the performances they've done, it has been amazing. It's just, I wish I was there right now to witness all of that.
I don't know where they were for Black Swan, but that was absolutely gorgeous. And the only thing that could have made it better was barefoot Bangtan. That's it.
Yes.
If they had not had shoes on, that is the only thing that would have made that like the ultimate performance of Black Swan.
That Black Swan performance brought me to tears, because it was just so beautiful, and there was something extra powerful about their voices, and I don't know, they just delivered such a beautiful performance that went so well with the background. They really matched, the mood of that set.
I agree. And the thing I really like about BTS is they're very adaptable to their environment and surroundings, and they're just as pretty as their sets.
They really are.
The one good thing about them being in Korea instead of over here for these performances has been that they have had complete control, and they can spend as much money as they want, and all the camera angles and all the audio, everything's been flawless.
And I love that they highlighted, like they were at Gyeongbokgung Palace. And I just think that's so beautiful. They followed up the Dynamite with, in all of their Koreanness, in all their glory, and their hanbok, and dancing at the palace and singing in Korean. And to me, that was just so beautiful. Like, this is who they are. And they were showing it and feeling it and just serving it up on a silver platter for everybody.
The performance last night, in that all blue, there are various shades of blue, and it was just, and then the drones at the end with the army symbol and the BTS symbol, I cried. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
I agree.
It reminded me of the final, because they did that when they sung Microcosmos at the Seoul final concert, right? Like, they did the little globe, and then they did the BTS sign, and then they did the army sign, and it was just a lot.
I really loved how they did that. It started off with the army symbol, and then it gradually changed into BTS, and that's just, it really portrays how they really see army, how army forms them, and it goes both ways. If without them, there would be army. So yeah, I agree. That was very heartwarming to see at the end.
It's amazing to me that we are fans, but you cannot say BTS without having army in the same sentence.
So true.
It's like we just go together. Army and BTS just go together hand in hand. Like V says, BTS equals army. Army equals BTS. Makes you feel special.
It does.
Yeah, we are special.
Yes, we are.
Feel appreciated that they know what you're doing for them, and they let you know at every turn, at every opportunity that they get. They let us know that we are special, regardless of where they are, what situation they're in. Are they going to hype up army somehow or the other?
I absolutely agree. And I think it is interesting to think that we all saw that army symbol, that the drones made, and we all felt like it was specifically for us. Yeah. Every army around the world that was watching that performance, like, oh, they mean me. They're talking about me. That's for me.
And that's another reason why I think we love them so much, because everything they do, it's like they breathe army. And they don't really tailor to those non-army fans. It's more, it's just all for army. And how can you not love that connection between an artist and a fan? So that's, if anybody's ever wondering, besides BTS being talented and everything that they do, it just speaks for themselves. But why we love them so much, and it's because of that connection.
I was really happy when we heard from Jimin this week on Twitter after they had reached number one again? Because at first I was like, why aren't any of them coming forward and saying anything? And then Jimin was like, seemed frantically, to post something finally and say he'd been sick. I was like, oh, anyway, that was sweet.
It really was. He's such a sweet baby.
And when we haven't heard from them, it was really funny reading the tweets on Twitter where people were saying, has anybody looking them up? Have they heard the news? Are they okay?
Right.
Yeah, but the first thing that I actually thought about was just how humble they are. Because even though they've reached number one, instead of kind of like blasting it that, oh look, we're number one, we're best and everything, I think it's just because of their humbleness that I'm sure they're excited. That also at the same time they have a lot on their plate right now, especially preparing for the upcoming concert and I guess also taking for Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. So I the way I saw it is just their humbleness, and that I'm sure they're deeply appreciating that they became number one again, and they'll always appreciate the things that Army does for them. Yeah, keep streaming.
That's right.
Haven't stopped.
I am streaming.
Every day.
I think I missed a couple of days, but with Siren last night, Savage Love, well, I've been streaming all day.
Me too. And I like it. Like, I knew the songs from, probably the same as Martina, from TikTok. Like, right. I don't think I've ever heard the full real song, but I've sure been playing the heck out of the BTS remix.
Well,
I'm sorry,
gonna
but
out
hearing
myself.
JK curse was something. Well, I wasn't ready for it, but I'm here for it.
Right. I'm going to out myself. I have never heard this song before, ever. And
I'm with you.
Listening to this BTS remix was honestly my very first time hearing the song.
So what did you think as a first-time listener?
Oh, I loved it. It's kind of catchy. I thought it was great.
I agree.
I first heard it on TikTok. So then I go to YouTube to find out what it is about. And I liked it. BTS doing a remix, well, it was best of both worlds for me. I already love the song. And JK, you said the F word. My God, his song is so cute. His pronunciation.
Right? Could anybody be cuter saying the F word? No, I don't think so. What on earth?
His song is so cute. I just love the way he says it. I just love his voice. It's like, oh my gosh, listen to JK's voice, how beautiful it is.
It's like honey.
Exactly, that's what I thought. His voice is like honey. And then sugars, because I wasn't expecting any Korean. Well, boy, I screamed.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that just two of us live here. And I was alone in the living room because I screamed out loud because I wasn't expecting it. But the song is so good.
It did.
I had it on loop for about 30 minutes before I went to bed. So I got to put it in my head this morning.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Right. You woke up with
catchy.
JK saying the F word in your ear this morning.
Yeah. And I have nothing against Jason Derulo. I actually like a lot of his songs, but it's not, of course, I'm not an avid fan as I am for BTS, and so I don't go out looking for his songs. But I'm with Jay. That was the first time I heard that song, and especially with BTS being involved, I'm like, oh, okay, this is even better.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it
Yeah,
and added it to my list of, my streaming playlist.
It's a really fun song.
I think that's the thing too. Because I mean, I personally don't listen to a lot of songs that where people use a lot of swear words and I personally don't say those words, but it doesn't mean I can't love and appreciate the music or the song. And just as I had mentioned to you guys before, there was a band that I had called Cruella, and those two siblings, a lot of their songs have curse words in them, but I still listen to them, and I'm always trying to seek out the clean edits, but that's just my own personal preference, but it doesn't mean that I have to hate their song. And so I used to have fun with it. So when they do use the F word, I'll replace the word with fudge, like, what the fudge? So, and that's the thing too. It's like, I guess, just trying to understand, like, the right and wrongs, because we know children shouldn't be going out in public saying those words, right?
Yeah.
But as long as you know the boundaries, and as long as you know that they know they shouldn't be saying that out in the public like that when they're so young, but you know, when you're grown up, you can do whatever you want. And so that's the thing too. My 16-year-old niece, we hang out a lot, so we listen to a lot of songs together. But she knows she's not supposed to say those words, and so to me, I think it's okay if she listens to them, but as long as she knows the right and wrongs of using those words. And so I didn't see a problem with it at all. And as you guys were saying, JK sounded adorable saying the word.
If we're being honest, this isn't the first time BTS has used
Exactly.
foul language. Hello, have you heard Suga? Have you heard RM? Have you heard Augustine?
Yeah.
You know, and it's really up to the parents to be the gatekeepers and monitor. We're adults.
No, he's 24.
They're adults. They're adults. We're adults.
I normally don't listen to songs like that, to be quite honest, and I don't use those words anymore. Well, unless you get me real angry, one may slip out accidentally. But on Spotify, I had to go into settings so that I can get to listen to Savage Love on it on the playlist, because the settings didn't have it open. So I tried to be good.
But anything my settings are wide open. I don't.
Yeah. I didn't know you could have settings on Spotify.
Yeah. Well, when I went, they told me they had what they use, and to go to settings to allow it. So I went to settings, and so while the song is in the playlist had a couple of ones that I did not want to listen to, so I just jumped over them. I don't really listen to regular music. I just listen to BTS all day, and that's it, really.
Same.
Yeah. And then if I feel for a change of music, what do? I go find one of the drama hosts, one of the songs, and I listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I was listening to Autumn Concerto songs. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Spotify, gotta be careful with the settings too, because there was a song that it kept blocking, and I didn't realize it because I was initially really unfamiliar with settings on Spotify, and I was wondering why it kept asking me to change the settings for something, and it wasn't even a song that had a curse word in it or anything. So yeah, I've learned to be careful of that because I want to stream for the boys.
Yes, right. So I'm streaming, and I get a word. I know what it is. I am not going to pretend to be that I've never heard it before, and I'm shocked. And how could no?
You're not going to clutch your pearls.
Yeah. I didn't have to clutch my pearls. They were safe, on my neck. Because it's although I use those words, I have never heard my children use them.
Well, I mean, I don't say those words around my mom either, but I definitely say them.
Better than to do something like that. And because they will certainly get an eye. They get an eye for less things than that, to be quite honest. Mm-hmm. So, JK, please, it sounded so cute again. It doesn't even seem like the actual word, to be honest. Unless you know the word that it's saying.
I feel like I'm in the minority here. I didn't find it cute. It made me feel some type of way for sure, but cute was not the feeling I was having. I'm all for it. Let them curse if they want to. I mean, they don't do it just to say bad words or whatever. Like it always
it's not gratuitous
in the they do it for a reason. And I listen to like rap and all sorts of music. So like my playlist will go from, Tupac to Biggie and then to Celine Dion. It's a whole hot mess. Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you.
You run the spectrum.
I do. I do. So, but like, I didn't even think twice about it when, when the word came out, and then to see people like talking about it on the timeline and stuff kind of made me wonder. Like, don't put it on blast. Keep it in your group chats and your DMs.
Right.
Yeah.
If you've got problems.
Yeah. Like, why is it even a big deal in a way?
Exactly.
Like, instead of appreciating the song, why was this the topic of discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After what we just heard, what we've been hearing recently, why are you just focusing on just this one of the word, and he only used it, 3 times?
Yeah. But it's part of a phrase, and so the phrase itself carries, meaning. It gives you the context.
It's part of the song.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they didn't write the lyrics.
No.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, even in their written lyrics, they have cursed before, so it's not the first time.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it's just because people think of JK still as the baby. Like,
did they not
the baby?
see Idol?
Right. But I'm just like, he's one of my wreckers anyway. And this week on Fallon, he has definitely been on his little wrecking ball.
In Black Swan,
that
sheer
little
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheer shirt and a ponytail. That's all. Like, come on.
He's not little. He is not a little boy.
He is a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's reminding everybody that he's a grown man right now. Like,
putting it out.
We might have started off the week with his cute little Elvis look with the little, swoopy curl, like in front of his face, and the yellow shirt, and, him looking all cute. But as the week has progressed, no.
This may be an unpopular opinion, but that Dynamite look, I wasn't feeling it from the hairstylist Nuna. I was like, why is the hair so, it was like little boy all the way, like totally brushed down. Like, where's the poof? Where's, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the looks in the Dynamite thing, but I loved everything else about it, so I guess I tried to overlook it, but yeah.
I feel like they tried to really do it like I think they tried to make them look kind of like Brady Bunch-esque, because they were doing that, the little roots and the
right.
So I that was my take on it, why they made them look that way and did their hair in different ways. But anyway, the rest of the week has been stellar, and I mean those Hanboks and Idol, I'm still not over it.
I love that
Hanbok.
I don't think I'll ever be over it until they give us crop top. Then I'll move on.
Right. I wish Chisholm was every day so they could wear the Hanbok every day, because they're just so sexy. Every man should wear a Hanbok. Just saying.
Love that they can bring that South Korean culture to a show like Jimmy Fallon to show the world, hey, this is what our culture wears, and it's so pretty too. I keep looking at their suits. I'm like, I want one.
Right. What did y'all? I guess we could talk about the Lotte duty-free concert. What did y'all think of that? I'm curious.
I was a little underwhelmed.
Yes.
Same.
I was a lot underwhelmed.
I was asleep.
I wish I would have been asleep. It was not worth staying up for. I could have caught that on the replay the next day and been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I watched it, and I don't know if it was just me, but every time I see them perform, I see it in their eyes, I hear it in their voices, I see it in just their expression when they dance. There was not that same life and light that was coming through for me for that concert, and it just kind of gave me pause, like what's going on? What do we not know? Because it just didn't seem to have the same life in it, just as far as a performance quality.
I agree. I guess there was so much hype built up for it, so I kind of got super, super excited. And of course, with BTS, you're always excited. And I appreciate seeing them perform, but I do agree. The performances itself were kind of underwhelming. Like you said, their expressions, you could see that there was something off automatically. Right. And with seeing the big screen behind them, I thought for every other performances, everybody else, they seem, I guess, okay and kind of excited to be able to do something like this during COVID times. But for BTS, I guess because they're so over outdoing themselves that it was kind of just like, we need ARMY here
right.
to re-energize us.
I don't know about y'all, but I worked really hard to get that code because it took me multiple times to be able to sign up for Latte Duty Free to get an account because I couldn't get my code, and if I did, it was beyond the 60-minute limit. I'm lucky I got a code, and then by the time I got the code, I guess I was expecting maybe more, but I was like, I worked harder for this than anything else.
And then it's just a YouTube link, and you're like, oh, that's it? No password?
Right.
I know. Right. I felt so used.
Yeah, they just wanted our information.
Right. Like, geez. Insert clown emoji here.
Right.
I think part of the disappointment was not disappointment necessarily, but last year's concert was so good. Like, so good.
Yes.
And then this was just like the complete opposite.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It's BTS. It's never going to be bad.
Right.
But it just was not. And honestly, like, I felt that way from the beginning of the concert. Like,
same. I did too.
I didn't think any of the acts were. I mean, they all sound good. I mean, obviously they can sing, but I was just like, I'm okay. Like, I guess I'm watching this, waiting for BTS. Right. Like, I like the commercials the most, I think.
Yes.
They were cute.
They were good.
But I was like, wait, 3 songs? There's what?
Yeah,
it's over?
3 songs. Even the closing act only did 3 songs. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, that was surprising.
I think I'd have been more upset if I had been like y'all and had woken up to watch it, but because I was already up, I wasn't like super mad about it, and I knew I was staying up to watch another concert after that. So, like, I was just, well, this wasn't great, but I was up anyway, so who really cares? And I got to see BTS. But if I had woken up specifically for it, I definitely would have been more angry.
I will say I learned a little bit about G-Friend and TXT.
TXT is adorable.
They are adorable.
They're adorable, but why is Big Hit putting them in crop tops for their comeback? They're babies. I don't need the babies in crop tops.
We want the big ones in the crop tops.
Makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, wait a second.
I wonder if they didn't give us All Out during this Lotte Duty Free concert because we are getting the goods for the upcoming October 10th and 11th concerts. Just saying. I feel like
I'm sure they're giving us. Yeah, everything. I'm sure it's going to be great.
I want everything for that concert.
I'm excited to know it's going to be a little different from the first day to the second day. That's exciting.
And apparently they're taking, or what has driven their set list. Remember that survey that we did? Did y'all complete that survey where we were picking different songs?
I can too. So I did.
I worked hard for that survey too, by the way. That took a long time because I had to go back and forth and look at the translation because, I don't know Korean. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so it'll be interesting to see what songs make it on the set list. We know Map of the Soul 7, obviously. That's a given. But what other songs they're going to plug in there? I'm excited.
Same. And did I see it's going to be like a 2-hour runtime?
Yeah, I think they said approximately 2 hours.
That's it?
I know. I was thinking 2.5 would be nice.
Yes. Well, I mean, BTS doesn't like to exit. So, I mean, it could be 2.5 hours.
Maybe that's not counting encore.
Right. And I mean, especially with them getting to interact with Army for the first time, there's no telling how that's going to go. But I'm really excited for it. After seeing the Monsta X and Stray Kids concert, they did the same thing with them and ITZY, and they had like a big fan wall, and they all got to talk to some of their Army, and they could hear them during their performances, like screaming. And you could just tell like how much it changed their performances. So I'm so excited to see that for BTS.
Awesome.
Do we think someone will cry?
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do too. I think
know
it'll
I'll be
probably be
crying.
Jimin and JK, but that's just because they tend to be the ones who are more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for
Outwardly
some Junie
emotional.
tears, though.
I can't handle Junie tears. Like, he
No.
doesn't do it very often.
Exactly.
I know, that's why I want it.
In Break the Silence, it broke Melissa. Like, I was like, no, don't
no
him
kidding.
crying.
I think the three that would do me was Junie, Jin, and Yoongi. If any of those three cries, then there's nothing holding me back.
Oh, even
Yeah,
if nobody cry, I know I'll be crying.
Yeah, it's any of them. It doesn't matter. Even if they don't cry, there's a chance I'm crying.
Maybe it's a good thing I didn't win,
Right.
the get to be on the screen because,
Yeah.
well, A, nobody needs to see 4 a.m. moi, and B, I would just be blubbering, mess. So
When they sing "We Are Bulletproof Eternal," like
Forget it.
Okay.
Waterworks City.
And Louder Than Bombs.
Yeah, I think Louder Than Bombs might hit me harder
There's
than
something,
yeah.
hauntingly beautiful about Louder Than Bombs that I think it'll get me.
Do y'all think they're going to do everything from Map of the Soul? Like, do y'all think they're going to do all the songs?
I
I'm
hope
thinking-
so, but that's a lot of songs.
I
It
think
is.
That's 2 hours.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm asking.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking that
I don't
because
think
they
they
did
do.
Respect, Friends,
Jamais Vu.
Jamais Vu.
Who else?
I don't think we might get those. I think
I
we're
don't
going to get the
think so.
solos. I need to see Boy With Love full remix umbrella version.
And
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yes.
0 o'clock and UGG.
Yes.
0 o'clock. Mm.
And I want to see Filter because I would love to see how
Filter.
I want to see Jimin wiggling like a worm.
Cue Susan. Susan.
Filter!
Yes.
1 week till Filter.
Just want to see him what
1
he's
week till
doing.
Filter.
I have a
Susan's been
feeling that
counting down.
I know, I'm freaking out already.
Jimin's Filter is going to blow away Jimin's Serendipity out of the water. Like, we thought we were getting the goods with that. I have a feeling Filter's just going to slay us.
Mm-hmm.
I think Moon might make me cry, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
I'm
good
so
to
ready
begin
for
with.
it.
You know what, ladies? Just talk up on tissues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great
Yeah.
advice.
Boxes.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we should Zoom watch.
Oh, goodness.
I mean,
I was thinking about doing that, but then I thought about the bandwidth. I don't want to hurt my stream.
True.
that's true.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I love you girls, but BTS.
Yeah. If my concert starts buffering, I'm gonna be like, leave meeting. Yes, click.
Especially with no, replay, video on demand
Right.
available, at least right now.
I'm sad that they're doing that, but you never know. I have a feeling maybe they'll change their minds later.
No, we're going to
we
get the DVD.
That's
I think
true.
we're buying it. I think
We're
they're
buying
selling
it. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so gonna buy
Gotta have it.
Of course.
it. Yeah.
We could just pop in and like Zoom for a minute after the concerts and, scream and fangirl for a minute.
Yes. Well, I'll be too hyped.
Cry.
Uh-huh.
Reminisce.
I might be really depressed afterwards. Like, I always feel really sad when their concerts end. Like, after I'm watching them.
I think I won't feel that way the first night. The second one, like knowing that it's the end, definitely.
That is true. Maybe I won't feel so bad on the first night because I got the next night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you get more.
Right.
Yeah.
When I watched Break the Silence last weekend, as I know a lot of us did, and watching their performances and their concerts, and so seeing Chicago, and I just had that moment where, oh my gosh, and I know I've said this before, so I apologize. I just feel like we were robbed of so much in 2020, that watching that on the big screen and reliving, and then realizing what could have been and what should have been, it just made me cry.
Nope, absolutely. Yep, I was right there with you.
And I feel like on the 10th and 11th, I'll be crying for that specific reason, like what should have been. Like, I should have been watching this concert in person.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's still a hard pill to swallow. I don't know if I'll ever get over that. Maybe once we see them in 2022 or whatever. Dang it.
Whenever it happens. Yeah.
2023.
No, Susan.
No.
I mean, if that Variety article is right, she might be right.
We have to get our act together. That's all I have to say.
No, I will quarantine. I've been watching some TikTok videos. That quarantine does not look so bad. 2 weeks in like a 4-star hotel. They bring you food. They do your laundry.
That's true.
You just hang out, and it's not super expensive. Like, I think a couple of people said it's been like $1,500 for 2 weeks in a hotel. $1,500 is not
I can
that
do
bad.
that.
Not
Okay, so next summer, I think we should do it. Girls, we're going to South Korea. We're going to see BTS, because I know they'll probably be ready well before we are. We're going to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then we're going to see them in concert.
So what you're saying is I'm going to need to take a leave of absence from work. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
I will take note of that.
I am not feeling good.
I mean, I don't have to do that. I can literally take a leave of absence from work for up to 6 months for my own personal reasons if I wanted to. I don't get paid, but I can do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a great plan. Let's do this. Because I don't know if I can wait till 2020, whatever.
Well, we would need 2 weeks there and 2 weeks probably back here.
Well,
right?
no, because
So
the one chickadee that came here, she didn't have to
true.
They gave her a flyer that said, well,
That's right.
No.
well,
hopefully that'll be fixed, because
right.
that's crazy.
Well, but we have U.S. passports, so they'll be like, "Hi, welcome back home."
Well, and I mean, but that could change if we have a regime change in November.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
rules could change, and
Yeah,
I'm not mad if that happens,
That's
because
right.
we
I'm not
definitely
mad.
don't have the right rules right now. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Side note:
Yeah, 'cause
everybody vote on November 3rd.
please.
Your vote counts.
I just keep like obsessively checking my voter registration. Is it just me? Like, I'm just so scared that I'm going to log in and it's going to be gone. And so I'm just obsessively checking like every other day. Like, am I still registered to vote? Okay. All right. Okay. I've applied for my absentee ballot.
I just sent my absentee ballot in, so I feel good.
I haven't gotten mine in the mail yet, but I'm waiting for it.
I live in the 4th largest county in the country, and we have one drop-off box. My city is huge. It takes you 2 hours to get from one end to the other. Let's just say that. One drop-off ballot box.
And you can't tell me that that's not on purpose. Like, they are doing this purposely, and they can spin it however they want to, but they are trying to suppress votes.
Yes, they are.
They don't want everybody to vote because this is a year when everybody could, because of the virus, like everybody's trying to do their mail-in ballots. So, yeah.
Do we want to talk about the cute pre-COVID videos we got this week?
Oh.
It was sad, but they were still cute.
Yes, they are adorable.
I've only seen photos, so I will let you ladies lead this, but let's just say that I really wish in On they would have left the jackets off, because everybody showing their arms was a lot for me.
Her sleeveless Yoongi was just adorable.
Yoongi has been coming, well, he started coming for me during the On Kinetic Manifesto. That was it. When he did his I don't give a and then he was like, it was just a hard, anyway.
He
that started in February. By March, he was my second bias. Like, all right, fine, whatever.
He looked so beautiful in that On Kinetic Manifesto. Like, just the whole look was stunning. I remember the first time I saw that video, I was like, oh my gosh, What happened to him?
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, anyway.
That glow up from New
Yeah.
Year's, Susan. It was just still continuing, and it's still continuing now.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I watch him on In the Soup, and I'm like, what the why?
Look at us, we're speechless.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking about In the Soup.
I don't want it to end.
Y'all, I
No.
cried. I cried at the end of this last episode because I'm so sad that there's only one more episode.
I'm sad too. It's really depressing. I want it to just go on and on and on.
Forever.
I want them to buy that place or buy something like it so they can go there whenever they want, even with no cameras. They need a place outside of this city to hang out.
They've had so
much fun. They've had so much fun
because they're away from the hustle and bustle. They don't have a schedule. They're enriching themselves. And can we talk about their artistic abilities?
Holy mother.
Lord.
Just, I mean, JK's paintings, I'm still just...
Is there anything he can't do? Seriously.
No, I don't think there is. He's so good at everything.
He's a golden matinee for a reason, and he's living up to that reputation.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, his first painting, that Bob Ross thing, was just blowing my mind.
It was beautiful.
And the second one, even.
Yes. RM cracked me up because he was just like, I was sitting here and then I turned around and then it was just this masterpiece. Yeah. Like, what?
It seems like none of them knew the depth of his artistic ability.
Cross.
Wow.
You know what surprised me is that although they lived together for so long, they're still getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, okay, well, they know everything about each other. No, they don't. Jane was asking, who did he ask? V, did I tell you that I played badminton when I was little?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how come they don't know that yet?
That's the thing, too. I think that's all a part of creating a great relationship with someone, regardless if it's like with a significant other or a friendship or any kind of relationship. Because when you brought that up, the first thing I thought about was a friend that I went to her wedding three years ago. And then last year, I took my niece to BookCon in New York, and we hung out with them because they live in New Jersey. And they were really nice to kind of take us around town. And I'm hearing their conversation, and they're still learning things about each other. And I'm thinking, you guys have been married for a couple of years now. How did y'all not know that about each other? That's how I noticed with BTS as well. And even I forgot which shooting it was when they did behind the scenes and we saw some of the things about it, but there was this one part where I guess Jin he was an exchange student in Australia, and all the members were like, why didn't you tell us that? And they've already known each other for so long already by that point. And Jin, just being Jin, he goes, I was embarrassed about my English, so I didn't tell anyone I was an exchange student. But anyways, I love that, especially in the soup and how, and as Jay was saying, they're just kind of enriching themselves and everything, and you're hearing these conversations that technically could have been just a private conversation between them, but they're sharing with Army, and we're able to see that. I think that's just remarkable. Yeah. And
I think sometimes things are situational too. Like you don't think about telling somebody something just randomly. It comes up because something that happens around you or another conversation that's happening, and you're like, oh yeah, like this happened to me. So
exactly. And I really loved how I guess V wanted to have that alone time with Jungkook in one of the episodes, and Jimin was being all smart and everything.
What are you doing?
I know. It was so adorable. But I just love that. I love that they do want to take the time to know each other more, and that's the thing too. Between V and Jungkook, they realized that they had, I'm not sure what the word would be. Not that they weren't close anymore, but you know how I guess as you progress your life, things kind of change a little bit, but
a little separation.
Exactly. But the thing is, both of them recognized that, and Jungkook had mentioned it. But then V was the one that kind of took initiative and to try and recreate that bond. And I don't know, I just love it. Just like you girls are saying, it's gonna be sad when In the Soup ends, but I am very grateful that we got this.
Me too.
Same. I've really appreciated seeing their athletic side.
Yes.
Something so hot about watching them play ball. Is it just me? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see them play more ball.
I know. I'm going to say, Jin has great hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, he does.
The fact he can hit a home run. Yeah, and I love baseball, but seeing Jin play baseball, I'm like, okay, my heart is just melting.
Yeah.
Look, when Jimin was pitching and did his pitcher stance, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I lost my ever-loving mind because I love baseball, and I'm like, no, sir. No, sir. You're going to need to stay in this lane because I cannot handle that kind of.
I was losing my stuff watching V, throw the ball.
Yes.
And you could tell he knows how to throw the ball. And I'm like, oh, what is this side?
I know. Oh my gosh, they should definitely have their own BTS baseball team. I would so watch them play.
I'm so used to seeing them goofy and like when they were tied together playing soccer tennis and really just not looking like they had ever played a day in their life, and then seeing them in this scenario going, whoa, wait a minute, they're athletic. Where did this come from? Yeah.
I've loved seeing their progression of ping pong too, like how much better they've gotten from the beginning episode until now.
They definitely need a ping pong table in the dorm if they don't have one already, because they really love playing ping pong.
Especially Jin.
Yes.
I think he likes cheating.
He's the ping pong master,
Yes.
They need to
to cheat.
And he keeps reminding you that.
They need to get Jin a punching bag so that when he wakes up, he can hit it every morning.
Yes. Yes. He can hit it and be like, Namjoon, did you know that I'm the ping pong master? And go about his day.
Yeah. Let me just say, we all know their personalities by now, but the thing that I'm starting to realize also, how much Jin is a jerk to his little brothers. Like, I love you, buddy, but that was kind of rude.
Every now and then Karma gets him back, though, because just like in this last one, when he was sitting on the porch after he had woken everybody up with the fireworks, and he was eating his mango and talking about how classy he looked, and then he started choking on his mango. So every now and then Karma gets him back.
Gotta love him. He's gotta love all of them.
I did love his explanation for that, though, like saying that he wasn't doing it to be mean, that he just does things in the moment. Like if I see the punching bag every morning when I get out of the tent, so I just want to hit it, and I saw fireworks, so I just wanted to set one off. So
and actually that I will say that's one of the reasons why he had became a bias, is because he kind of just does things, and other people might think it's just random dorkiness, but for him personally there's a reason. And I feel like for me personally, that's kind of how I am too. A lot of my friends question me and my mind, like, are you okay, Crystal? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It makes sense to me. Just you carry on about you, and I know, let me be me.
Right. Let me have my 3 scoops of ice cream before we have dinner, okay? Don't bother me.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the silly things that I do, sometimes I skip, especially when I'm super excited, I start skipping. And they're like, are you a little girl? And I'm like, and if I am, you have an issue with that? Anyways, when I see Jin, I really see myself a lot too. Oh my gosh, about Yoongi in the soup, just with him cooking all the time and stuff, and I guess how the Hung line kind of takes care of the Matne line, it's just so adorable. I just really love seeing Yoongi just, he's basically like a dad figure. I mean, he's Grandpa Yoongi, but it's just like, I love seeing that side of him more.
Me too.
I want to talk about that chicken, but first let me say I need a bonsai plant because of Aram and his plant. No, I need one.
Yeah.
So cute.
That was so endearing.
I just have to take care of it, and I like that. So now I need one.
I agree.
So now back to the chicken, the frying of the chicken.
Oh my gosh. Don't they, there's like steps. I was really surprised to see them mix the dry and the wet.
Me too.
I was like, wait, honey, you can do the dry and the wet and the dry, or the wet and the, but like all at once. I was like, Is this how you do it?
Well, I mean, there is a batter that you can do, like a wet batter, but I wasn't expecting them to do that. That's kind of advanced cooking.
Oh my gosh. And then they had to cut up the chickens in order for it to fry.
Well, because they like dropped it in and it was starting to burn already. I was laughing. I was snorting from laughing so hard at that point.
JK had no problem eating it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing. They are funny.
And then they had to scrape off the batter.
In the end, I guess it was okay because they all were eating it and seemed just fine.
It doesn't matter what how you cooked it. Once when you're done, it's edible and it's tasty. Yeah.
I don't think they've ever thrown away any of the foods they've made.
Ever.
Actually, in that one episode where Jungkook made that sweet potato that stuck to the plate, did they eat that?
They probably did.
They probably did. They scraped
I remember him trying to eat it. He was trying to pry it off of the plate, but I think it was a no-go.
Oh no, it was too hard.
Oh my goodness.
For the most part, they'll eat whatever they cook, and I love that.
I want to make JK's dipping sauce that he made because that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
They are typical boys. Typical boys eat whatever. Yes. They don't care.
Okay, speaking of typical boys, who else among you sometimes looks around at the mess they leave around them and thinks, oh my God, I really just want to go and clean up after y'all? Because doesn't it bother you to have like all that crap everywhere?
Yeah, I looked at the table and said, but cupboards. Don't you all have cupboards? You could put those in the cupboards. They don't all have to be out on the counter.
I am proud to see how much they clean up after themselves when they eat, though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they do a good job.
They might leave their other stuff scattered around, but I am proud to see that they delegate responsibilities and like, okay, you cooked, so we'll clean today. And so that's been kind of fun to.
And Hobie always cleans up for sure and gets annoyed with the others when they don't clean.
He's such a good helper.
He is.
But he likes things clean.
Yeah, I love that too. I love how well they work together and how they delegate the duties, and it's not just a one-person job.
They've played to their strengths. They know who's good at what, and so I like that collaborative spirit among them.
Definitely.
I just want to say we've had 2 of them limping through the course of these 7 episodes. We got an explanation for Jimin's, but we never got an explanation for Junie's.
Yeah.
But I just found that kind of funny. Like, what are y'all doing, children? Please be careful. That is like, don't damage the goods.
I think Junie mentioned it in his V Live though, because someone had commented.
Did I miss it?
Well, I can't remember exactly what he said though, but I think he addressed it a little bit because someone had made a comment on the V Live and I guess he was reading it, and then he said, "Oh, I'm fine now," and then he said something about it, which I can't remember.
He worked out too hard. That's what he said. He said he thought he worked out too hard.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Him on the screen though.
The screen?
On the screen, the door that came in.
Oh yeah, he tore the door down. Yeah.
I love how you just casually said that, Dee.
And Jimin, well, I mean, even he said, like, I'm just being the god of destruction again.
And I love how Yoongi just stepped in. He was like, oh,
just fixed it. Yeah. I'm like, I got this, man.
Why does it always happen to him?
He's just blessed, I guess.
But he's very accepting of it. I'm proud of him.
The first thing I thought about the game that they played last night on Jimmy Fallon, and he had the guitar. You had to see how many of the picks fall out. I thought he's just gonna break it, and then he'll be the winner. But he did good. He didn't break it, and he looked adorable trying to shake the guitar.
I thought he was going to break it too. I was expecting him to break it.
I'm like, this is the perfect game for God of Destruction.
First round game though, where they had to go in and out of the shot. Oh, that was hysterical.
Jimin was so funny.
Hard.
He was.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love the games that they play with Jimmy Fallon.
They always have so much fun.
Definitely.
It makes you want to join and play with them.
Yes, I agree. Except I can't do the fast hit movement. Me watching that, I was laughing my head off watching them, but I personally can't do that. It's like my brain will become detached. from my skull.
I'll make myself dizzy.
And that's a headache waiting to happen.
V cracked me up, because you kept hearing the because he wasn't really doing anything. Like, honey, we can still see you.
Can we talk about the English speaking in that interview part with Yoongi and Jin? I was very impressed.
They sounded so fluid too.
Yeah, Aram looked impressed.
He did.
He's proud. He
proud. Looked like a proud
dad.
Proud of them. I'm so happy for them that they're doing so well with their English.
I love to hear them speak English occasionally.
I feel like Jin doesn't give himself enough credit. I think his English is much more advanced than he thinks it is.
I agree.
I think sometimes he overthinks it, and I can tell when he's overthinking it because that's when it doesn't flow as naturally. But you can tell when he's just not thinking about it and he's just going with it, and you're like, oh, there it is. He and Hobie give me the same impression. When they don't think about it and they just let it flow, they really know more than they think they do.
I agree. Yeah. And actually that reminds me when they were showing the behind the scenes for, was it the Jingle Ball? And Hobie kept saying how nervous he was about messing up his part, but then Namjoon was like, well, don't worry, I'll be your backup, but you got this, buddy. And sure enough, he did just fine. So I agree. I think they overthink it, but if they don't overthink it and they just let it flow out easily, I think they'll be very impressed with themselves as much as we are impressed with them.
What are we missing? Have we covered everything? Sorry, we segued off on In the Soup there. I think that was my fault, but I just can't help it. I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, me too. I guess just whether or not we want to talk about variety or not. If not, that's fine.
I mean, I only skimmed the article, so I may not have a whole lot of input there.
Ditto. Here, I've been too busy staring at the pictures.
Oh my God, the pictures.
Yeah, the photos are amazing.
I don't know about some of the poses, but they're amazing.
Yeah, Crystal sent me that one picture where like Jen is leaned back on all the rest of them. She's like, what is this pose? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe maybe it's like a trust fall, like, they're supporting him or something. Or it could just be that that's the way they wanted to pose. I have no idea.
I want the pictures with the red and the yellow. So I've been saving them.
You know why they changed it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But isn't that something the magazine should know?
Yeah.
You would think. That's called research.
Research.
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
I just wish they
love the red.
I just wish they'd picked a different color because that yellow is a weird yellow. Maybe purple would have been nice.
Purple would have been appropriate.
Yeah. Exactly. It would have been perfect. And then they would have probably have to bring more copies. Because then everybody would have wanted, I need it in purple. I got to have it in purple.
See, if they would just consult us, we would help them not to step on it every time.
Exactly. They will learn.
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought it kind of, first of all, the yellow was just, it didn't look right, but also the font. And it almost seemed like it was an edited version where they're just trying to let others review it, but then they forgot to remove it, or they're trying not to get the names mixed up with the members. I don't know what it was, but the font itself and the color, it just, to me, that ruined the picture. I thought I would have been happy with just the picture.
Right.
just remove their name completely. But
I think they thought, well, we did a good job on the red and we didn't have to get this done. Let's just change it.
Yeah.
I'm not put any thought into it.
I feel like every major publication should have Army on staff to proofread and check things.
Yeah, I've been impressed with that guy from Forbes lately, that Brian Raleigh. He's definitely been writing a lot of good BTS articles, so I think he's converted to Army.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so proud that there's people like him that has an open mind and can write an amazing piece about BTS and not ruin it.
When I think of John Cena after that talk, I think of him as ambassador.
Yes.
BTS Army ambassador.
I just wish he would have been able to share a Zoom with
Me too.
I was thinking maybe he did and we just don't know.
I hope you're right, Susan.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
that's
a
Bangtan bomb.
That is something we should share when someone asks, well, why do you like that? Here you go.
Yeah.
I know.
Here you go.
Because you notice he didn't address it. Like if he hadn't met them, he may have said something in the interview like, gosh, I'm just so sad that we're doing this during COVID. And that was very clearly missing from the dialogue. So we might be onto something.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I loved his words so much about what he said about BTS that I just went and wrote down every single thing he said and just had it on my phone, and I keep rereading it. I don't know why. It's just it was very heartwarming to hear him say those things about BTS and ARMY.
He really put it very well.
Yes, it's precisely why we are ARMY, what draws us to them.
Yes, somebody who understands.
And I think the point that he made about you know, whether it's your bag or it's not, whether you like this kind of music or you don't, you can't ignore the contributions that they make as individuals, as people, as a group, to society, to their community, to the world. Like they are more than just a septet that sings. They're so much more than that.
And that is coming from John Cena.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
Macho Man John Cena. That's where that is coming from. So when the public, some probably will pay attention to John Cena. Kids who like him will probably listen to what he said. But I like that it came from him.
Yeah,
not just another singer or just somebody, but just John Cena.
I agree.
A wrestler, a pro wrestler,
I feel like right now we're going to be
endorsement.
Definitely, yeah, and how at the end he said how they conduct themselves as human beings. I'm like, oh my gosh, that just really hit me. Yeah, that there's somebody who understands the capacity of what these guys are doing. Besides, that's beyond the music, and I wish the road could have an open mind and see that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, the amount of times that I've seen hate comments, and every time I would think that I was going to say something, and then I kind of just thought, whatever. But when I had written down what John Cena had said, I thought, okay, instead of me saying anything, I should just send a screenshot of this of what John Cena said and be done.
They really are 7 beautiful human beings, and I'm not just talking about the physical beauty. They just radiate light, and we need more of that, especially this year.
And I love how the front of Variety it says, "What we need now, BTS." That is so true. The world needs BTS right now.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Bomton and Borhe. You can find us on Twitter at BBorhe Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook at Bomton and Borhe, and our email is bomtonandborhe@gmail.com.
Until next time, this is Crystal,
D,
Melissa,
Jay,
Susan,
Tina.
Borhe.